Alright, let's do this. Now, I'm going to preemptively apologize for what is probably about to happen. What if he's resistant? Well, let's just try all of these. Unfortunately, this guy is resistant to magic. Which puts me in a bit of a bad way. Because I am mostly magic. Let's go to the King's Tower. We're just going to figure this out. Oh, I forgot to bring the healer. You know what? We'll leave that for later. I wonder. Okay, so that's pretty short range if I don't have somebody. Specifically picked out. Also, that's not nearly enough damage. You. Decent damage. Slightly more. Okay. I almost died from that. It was worth it for science. So the cloud is huge. But the actual, like, the actual affected area is quite small. So we'll see how this goes. Heck if I know where I'm going at this point. Oh, hi. That's a weirdly specific character model for right there. I don't think I've ever seen a woman in a black dress before. Like, ever? But yeah, I don't necessarily know where I'm going. Nor do I know who's here. Oh. Carrot capacity, dang it. Alright, you know what? Send to storage. Let's see. What else can I get rid of? The jelly. The bleeding. Yeah, we can get rid of a lot of this stuff. Things that I'm just not going to be using. Pretty much ever. Got a lot of soul items that I still haven't used. But I think mostly I'm just loaded on grass and juice. And that's holding me back. Dark Silver Shield. That's something to get rid of. Oh, we also have Goonman's equipment. That'd do it. Okay, so what do we got in here? I don't really know if the poison was worth it, but it's certainly cheap. Holy shit. God damn. I was under the expectation that that would hurt. I didn't realize that that would be fatal. Then again, I am a weak baby man. I should probably also see if I'm slow rolling here. Let's just take these off. Nope. Looks like I'm actually going at a regular speed. I know there's a crystal lizard here. Is it worth going for? Heck if I know. Did he not notice me? Ow. There we go. Okay. There we go. This is a tough sucker. They give good grass, though. There's got to be like another checkpoint after this, or a shortcut or something. Whoop. You're the one I was looking for. And ouch. I'm a little blind in here. Well, let's try that again. Yeah, there's got to be a shortcut or something. Because I can't imagine I'm going to have to run past, fight through all of these guys every single time I want to go reach Allant. Because that's going to be tough. Okay, there you are. There we go. Well, at least my magic sword does a ton of damage, and we are going to be swimming in grass by the time we're done. Okay. Okay, I hear the thief man. There you are. Ow. What the fridge? There we go. Ripes. Okay. Let's set my half moon grass to this. We're gonna end up with a bunch of new moon grass that I guess I'm going to use. Man, I don't even need the drop rate ring. I still get loads of goodies. Okay, there you are. Is he dead? Yeah, that's the end of him. Boy, howdy, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I was not expecting a full level here, which means I've missed something. Maybe? Hey, up! This feels bad. Okay, that didn't work. Look at that one. That ain't gonna work. Okay. I can hit it now. Did I get it? is gonna hurt. You were alive? Well, this is different. I don't remember how I'm supposed to deal with this one. Okay. Well, because it doesn't seem like I can run it. But it looks like I was safe. The big issue is that Big Boy wasn't dead. Okay. Oh. Plus side, more opportunity for me to get mad loose. Negative side, big risks. There we go. Big risks. Decent reward. Here's the thought. Okay. It was a bad thought. Whoops. Okay. Balls. Yeah, they didn't really perfect rolling until the later ones. I thought they would have fixed it in this. Let's see. Well, at this point, this is a liability. Let's go full moon. I'm going to be farming it off of these guys anyway. Okay. Which was the Dark Souls game that if you killed an enemy enough, they actually would stop spawning? Was that Dark Souls 2? I think that was actually one of my favorite mechanics that I'd ever seen in a Dark Souls game. That enemies would straight up just check out after a certain point and never come back. There you are. There we go. Luckily, these guys aren't actually that tanky. They hit like trucks. That's their danger. Okay. So I don't know how well this is going to work. Maybe I should have actually equipped the better Poison Cloud. I know it does enough damage to kill both of them. This is going to take a bit. I'd probably be better off waiting, but I have no idea where that ninja shows up from. And, like, he is problematic, because you can't block him. I still don't know what to do about the blue dragon. Okay, so here's the thing about the ninja. He's actually in that initial starting area. You just don't know he's there. Like, he's down low. Well, good to know. Alright. Take a look at bruisers. Yeah, don't want to turn my back on this guy. He hits pretty damn hard. Alright. I love the drop rates in this game. Like, it's so nice just getting boatloads of healing items left and right. I realize maybe it's not the most kosher thing in existence. Okay. There's a second one. Okay. Got insanely lucky there. Like I said, insanely lucky. Now what do we got? Kind of a nice little kitchenette area. So here's where the dragon is. And it pieces out. It kind of pieces out. Oh. So he's just gonna be there, ain't he? I honestly don't know what to do about him. And luckily he doesn't take much for damage. So what does this do? Where am I going? What am I doing? Blue Eye Knight Greaves. Is that it? Oh. Okay. That's really helpful. Still one hell of a fight to get up here. That's really helpful. Okay, so let's take a look at this.
You need some help?
Y'all. Okay. Here we go. Unfortunately, I don't think this is worth it. And he's just gonna die. Which I feel kind of legitimately guilty about. Or is his whole gimmick just that he's a distraction? Nothing more. That saving him at this juncture is not possible.
Oh, it's you, is it? My father is up above. Well, something like him anyway. A demon in his shape. I began this quest to ask my father his reasons. To drag him back to the path of righteousness. But it seems it was all in vain. Please, kill my father. In his depraved state, he can only bring peril to these lands. This key opens Boletaria's mausoleum. Inside the mausoleum lies Father's sword, Demon Brand, twin of Soul Brand. Use it to bring an end to his madness.
I even get souls from that. Uh-oh. Beyond that. Sup, Ostrava? I'll just use all that I can here. Okay, that didn't work. That did. Shoot. There we go. Got him. Got him. Now, did he have any items for me? He did. His stuff. Feel bad for Ostrava. Feel bad for the dude outside. Okay. Now, this next section is probably going to be incredibly dicey, because how the hell am I supposed to beat... Allant is not an easy customer. Do I still have the thief ring? That's a really crazy idea. I don't know. Either I'm going to finish this tonight, or I'm going to have to leave this for later. Because old King Allant is just... He's hard. He's hard in a way that I'm not really prepped for, especially with this character. Is somewhat of a reflex test, or... I don't know. I might also want to look into seeing if I can kill that blue dragon. Because if I can kill the blue dragon somehow, then we never have any other problems. Okay. There's a strategy I remember from ages ago. But I don't know if this is going to work. Yep, I gotta be closer. Yep, even closer. We just have to see him start taking damage. Okay, there it is. Oh. Okay. There we go. I don't think there's such a thing as a stacking effect on this one. But it's there at least. Okay, so... You know how I've been saying this whole series that I'm never actually going to learn how to play it correctly? Yep. Right on the money. It's gonna take a while. I don't... Because realistically, this Poison Cloud does like 900 damage. I just have to make absolutely certain that I don't, like, screw up here. Oh. Oh, but I don't think this actually increases any damage. Now I'm thinking about it. Still ticking down? Yeah, it's still ticking down. So, I guess we can just hang out for a little while and do whatever. I have a hard time deciding, when I play games like this, like, do I show off how busted I can make it, or do I play it legitimately? Because from, like, a me personality wise, I don't know. I very much am the kind of person that thoroughly enjoys breaking games over my knees. I don't really display it in the same way that some YouTubers we all know do. Just because, like, I guess they often signal boost in a matter of, like, clickbait more than anything else. And I should probably attempt it, but I feel like it would be such a heavy departure from what my channel is and is about. I guess I can switch to this to get my mana back faster. It's still ticking down. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway. Oh, my title for this is going to be I just stare at King Allant's ass for like 5 minutes as he dies. It's beautiful. But no, I should probably signal boost my own cheese more, just because. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it in the same way that other people do. I feel like it's not my content. Which is odd, because yeah, I do break games left and right. Oftentimes with, like, legitimate cheats. Sometimes with heavily abusing bugs. I think it's stalled out, actually. I think the real answer is you can't actually re-poison him. Like, it doesn't extend the duration or anything like that. So I just have to wait until it stops. At least we have a good marker for when it will stop, which is a while from now. I rotate my camera? No. I guess we'll just be here for some time. Which, I mean, I think is truly the most unfortunate part about all of this. The sheer time expenditure that it takes to just delete King Allant from the map. But at the same time, I can say that I've done this. I mean, how many other YouTube series are there for Demon Souls? Also, the Chris does not boost poison damage in the slightest. Can I hit the share button for a bit? Nah, I don't think it would actually help. Let's see, save recent gameplay. Let's do that. Save full video. 60 minutes. Dang. That's an incredible feature. It's not really useful for me. But I love the idea of it. If I press this button, does the game pause? No. That is... Okay, that might be a bit of a weakness. For single-player games like this, you really want it to pause when you're doing this screen capturing thing if, like, it was in the middle of major stuff. But I guess one way or another, all I'd have to do is just be like, alright, give me the last 10 minutes. You know, whatever was so epic that you have to actually hit the capture button, you absolutely could just say, hey... give me the last 10 minutes, I'll cut it down. There's no way it's gonna last longer than that. That's about the right speed for me tonight. It's like 2 a.m. Thanksgiving night. And like, oh, believe you me, I would love to actually fight this guy properly. But I figure I might as well leave that kind of action for any of the subsequent Dark Souls games, or probably Bloodborne. Because, like, at least with Dark Souls 3, you can kind of block sometimes. Not really. Blocking in Dark Souls 3 is a joke. Is it still going? Yeah, it's still going down. And so, yeah, could do it here. But now I can say I did this. It's a unique experience. And, I mean, it's consistent. If any of you are surprised that I'm doing this at this point, I think I jumped the gun on that one. I honestly can't tell. We'll just wait until it slows down. I might honestly want to skip ahead, or we just do kind of a light podcast while I'm here. I guess there's something really... I'm not going to say delicious. Novel would probably be the best word I can come up with for this. There's something incredibly novel about finding a glitch and abusing it to my benefit. That, yeah, it kind of ruins the experience, but it creates its own experience. Kind of like how speedrunners work, except for much slower. No, there's no way that any speedrunner would ever do this. If you were doing a no-hit run on Demon Souls, I would wager that cheese strats like this are 100% valid. It's like, good lord, not taking a single hit in Demon Souls. Actually pretty possible. Would probably take a lot of work. At least you wouldn't have to sit through a bunch of painful load screens anymore. That, you know, the load screens only being maybe 10 seconds at best. If you have to reset the whole game, like, that's probably a lot easier now, though it's still painful. Still ticking down, right? Yeah. But I don't know. I guess I think about this often. It's like, how much subversion of, like, the way a game is meant to be played, at what point is it no longer worth it? At what point have I gone too far? And I don't think I've really hit that point too much. Like, I'm trying to think of games that I've played where there are absolutely points when I'm doing a series on a game and, like, I've modded it or cheated so hard that I lose interest in the game, but I think a lot of that boils down to the fact that most games where you have to, like, mod or cheat to bypass something or make it fun again, usually the reason why I stopped playing is because the game itself wasn't actually that interesting. I'm thinking a lot of RPGs where it's like, hey, you know, grind for 7 hours against random mobs so that you can beat the next boss. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to give myself double EXP. And then the game becomes almost too trivial. And it's like, I feel like this could have been handled better in balancing more than anything else. It's part of the reason why I always stay very, very far away from direct leveling cheats, if I can manage it. Because I find those tend to be the worst. Because I don't mind being egregiously over-leveled in, say, like, Pokemon. Because at that point, I'm not really playing Pokemon anymore for Pokemon's sake. I'm just charging ahead because I'm there to have goofs, make fun of the plot, look at some Pokemon, and then just win judiciously with the level 96 Snom. Gosh, what other games have I, like, broken over my knee? Definitely a lot of mods and modding. Oh, here's one. One that I did break maybe too hard was Don't Starve. Because we had the RPG leveling mod on and effectively discovered how to become immortal. And it was fun. And it was fun for about, like, 5 or 6 hours. And then after a certain point, it was just like, and it's boring. And I think some of it had to do with the fact that just, like, the game really was not meant to be played as a combat simulator. Which always boggles my mind that there are these giant super bosses all over the place that you have to beat to quote-unquote win. And I'm sure it's not actually that bad, especially if you've got, like, healing items and teamwork or traps or all sorts of things, but from our perspective, it was just kind of like, these things are just, like, big and tough and kind of frustrating, and it just never really felt like it fit in the game. Same thing with Forager. I never really felt like Forager needed to have giant bosses. And so, cheesing them to the point where I could just, like, delete them from existence, it never felt bad to me, because it was just like, I'm removing a part of the game that I don't think I don't think I would enjoy anyway, or the act of overcoming it would no longer become fun. That I guess, for me, I prefer boss fights that feel more like puzzles. I said this earlier, with I think it was the old hero, that boss fights feel better to me when it's not a test of reflexes or even skill to some degree. I think reflexes and skill are important, but I find them to be kind of frustrating after a certain point because, like, if you take any kind of break, then that little bit of rust can mean the difference between winning and losing. There's a reason why I've never gone back to finish Sekiro, and a lot of it just boils down to the fact that, like, I'm honestly not sure if I could be good enough that... Let's see, is this still ticking down? I think it is. I mean, I can just regularly cast poison anyway. I've got infinite mana. But, like, I desperately want to finish Sekiro, but I know that to do so would require a considerable amount of, like, timing and skill and effort and frustration in a way that I don't think I would enjoy. And I think I have that problem with a lot of From Software games, that they are everything that I want out of action RPGs. You know, really interesting boss fights, absolutely gorgeous visuals. Like, I've never really gotten a chance to look at this stuff, and I beat myself up a little bit for not looking at this game more. Because this is possibly one of the prettiest games I have ever played. And so little of it is ever focused on actually, like, the environments. It's part of the reason why I was so excited for Godfall. And am so excited to go back to that now that my schedule is opening up a little bit more, and should be available to join me. Because I just love co-op more. But, you know, I love Souls-like games because I think it's the perfect scale for me. Diablo always felt kind of neat, but very detached. That, you know, the visuals are beautiful, but you're not really there. Whereas there's something about Dark Souls' specific, like, scale and camera angles and everything, the mixture of claustrophobia and grand set pieces, that it really just makes you feel like you're part of this world in a way that most other games fail to capture. Apart from first-person shooters, and even then first-person shooters can feel kind of claustrophobic. Because of the more limited FOV, you don't get to look at as much as you're going by. And so, you know, I always find myself wanting to play these games more, not necessarily because I enjoy them, but because they are so impactful and meaningful and immersive in a way that most other games bounce off of me. And that I find myself wishing that there was a just slightly easier mode to make my life not frustrating playing them. So anywhere from, like, King Allant to so on and so forth. Let's see, give me a second. Oops. That's not what I'm aiming for. Let's throw a little bit more on. Okay, how wounded is he? Getting there. Okay, now it's ticking down. Let's see. but, you know, just slightly easier. 10% slower. 10% larger dodge, like, perfect evade windows, parry windows, and so on and so forth. Like, that small change and availability would make such a massive difference in my overall enjoyment of these games. Let's see, once more for good measure, and so I win. Because otherwise I feel mildly vindicated whenever I find a weird cheese strat, and I'm like, you know, I couldn't fight this normally, but this game's hard as hell.
How did you defeat my demonic reflection? How many souls might you have devoured, I wonder? The rest is up to the Old One. If it is to be, then you shall be beckoned.
Well, that was fun. To the Nexus! Let's beat this game. One more boss to go. I was always curious why the floor, like, nobody hung out here. I guess there's an answer.
Hark, I hear a voice of yore. The Old One calls for thee. Let us proceed below to its lair.
I wanted to spend those soul... well, whatever. Lady, this seems unsafe. Who built this place? I guess demon magic. What an absolutely rad looking whatever the hell this thing is. Like, it's a demon, obviously. I'm just curious about the birds, really.
Old One, I have granted thy wish. A new demon. Come now, be good.
Wish they had animated the birds a bit better. They look real stupid, how they're just kind of static hanging in the air. A lovely area. I'm gonna wander around a bit. Why waste this opportunity? I don't think there's anything up here. It's just runes and clouds. But it looks so dang cool. Even the demon itself. Like, the fact that it's made out of wood. That's very rare. Did you see like a demon that is just branches and trees and bark and whatnot?
Let us proceed below to its lair.
Oh, is this not the demon? Oh.
Let us proceed below.
Okay. I guess it lives in here. Time for me to get absolutely wrecked by whatever's within. I think there's like a little bit. Not really a boss fight per se.
You have been chosen by the Old One. Will you seek the everlasting demon souls? Or has the monumental blinded you? Whatever your choice, you are our first visitor. May you be welcome here.
It's not really everlasting if you never made a
Surely
sequel.
you have seen for yourself the pain and suffering that fills this world. But God is merciful, and so created the Old One, a poison to the poison. The Old One will feed upon our souls and put an end to this tragedy.
Oh, Jesus. You know, I thought this was going to be like, the king in Demon Souls 2. Oh, is he weak to fire? 190. What about magic? Definitely fire. Then again, the fire is more expensive. So I guess, is it really better? I have no idea. I mean, really, the actual answer is he is weak to sword. Huh. This is the only boss fight I'm gonna do while I'm human. Yeah, this guy got goopy. Like, really goopy. I think those are his eyes? Those, like, yellow things?
Don't you understand? No one wishes to go on.
You know, your pathetic nihilism is kind of a weird counterpoint. Oh, that's a good... Alright, let's remove sword. Okay, so now we got Soulbrand. So, I'm gonna write this down. Nihilism is a terrible character motivation for villains. The reason why I say nihilism is kind of terrible is that, like... I mean, I guess it makes sense. Most villains tend to be very egotistical and self-centered, but it's always really frustrating to see a villain whose, like, only real motivation was, like, power for the sake of power and nothing else matters, you know. No one actually wants to live, or, like... It's very much just kind of putting somebody else as a... or... Because they are the expert, the king, the leader, the smartest person on the planet, it's like... I, therefore, know better for everybody, and nothing matters, so, therefore, everybody doesn't care anymore, and it's
Thy work is done. Slayer of demons, go back above. The Nexus shall imprison thee no longer. I shall lull the Old One back to slumber.
Cool, bye.
My thanks. At last, the end is in sight.
See ya. I'll have to think more on the nihilism thing as a character motivation.
The Old One, along with the Maiden, were swept back into the lulling fog. Boletaria was spared from the demons, but also lost its knowledge of the soul arts. The souls lost during the pandemonium were never retrieved. And today, the unstable world has another monumental to hold its fabric together. A brave new hero of unprecedented power.
Man, Elden Ring is going to be fantastic when we get there. Just purely from a visual standpoint. What a fantastic remake. They really nailed it on so many regards. Even including some of the really weird, bad design decisions, honestly. Like, I would have loved to see them actually bring it up and modernize a lot of the mechanics and, you know, make some of the boss fights less dumb gimmicks, or, you know, just... one of the biggest complaints that I kind of touched on here and there is the rolling in this game doesn't feel very good in comparison to all the other Dark Souls games. A lot of it just has to do with the fact that, iframes? It's more about, like, giving you a small hitbox as opposed to making you invincible, which makes sense, but makes it really difficult to want to roll a whole lot in this game. Usually I just roll backwards and away, which often would fling me off ledges, which got kind of obnoxious. And that I'd like to go back to play some of the other Dark Souls games along the way, just to kind of get a better feeling. Oh, that was fast. I guess it was really a smaller remake team because they didn't have to redo as much, maybe. But I'd love to go back and redo some of the other Dark Souls games just to get a better feel for it, because it's been a couple of years since I last played any of them. And just to cross-compare. But from an experience standpoint, I want to say Demon Souls is probably the most quote-unquote pure. You know, so many interesting ideas that I've never really seen as much. You know, some really fantastic level design. Some really incredible scenery. And some really neat bosses. Like, yeah, many of them were gimmicks, and most of them I beat with just pure cheese and healing, but, like, I was fine with all of that. The one thing I will say is it is a downright tragedy that Bluepoint was not in charge of the Dark Souls remaster, because I would love to see Dark Souls be given this treatment instead of the really, honestly, quite shitty Dark Souls remaster treatment that it got. Like, it was mostly okay, but compared to this... I'm getting tired. Compared to this game, like, this blows most remakes and remasters out of the water. There's been a couple other ones. I mean, honestly, this even blows their Shadow of the Colossus remake out of the water. And I still need to play that one. But I don't know. It's just a good game. And I had a lot of fun playing this. And I'm so glad that this was the first game that I got to play on the PS5. I didn't really, like, talk about the PS5 too much apart from, like, general appreciation, but there is something really cathartic about getting a new console for me. I think mainly just it was kind of one of the things that really defined my life growing up. It's like, yeah, you know, we finally got the GameCube, time to get a bunch of crazy games for it, and every time a new console generation comes out, it feels like it kind of marks a different part of my life. And I guess this one's, well, actually, yeah, because that's been true for every console I've picked up since I became an adult. I picked up a 3DS with the first money I ever made with my art degree, doing commission work at a convention, nothing major, but still. Let's see. Next up would be, I picked up the Wii U with the money I made from my first job post-grad. And honestly, I loved the platform. I don't regret picking it up at all. I wish Nintendo had supported it better, but it had some absolute bangers. Then I picked up a PS4 when I was just starting to go full-time on YouTube, but I hadn't really made it yet, but like, I made it enough that it was worth it. I think I picked that up specifically for Bloodborne, which is kind of bleak because I never finished it. I'd like to. And honestly, after this, you know, the chances go up. Eventually. We'll see. Or I'll rope somebody to play it with me or something. Let's see. But yeah, then I picked up the Xbox more or less within like a couple weeks of moving into my first apartment. After going full-time on YouTube, which was super nice. And then here we are with the PS5. Which, I mean, realistically, not as much of like a landmark life thing, but you know, I've been living in a actual house, not just like a small apartment. And I guess I just turned 30. That's kind of the other thing, and it's gonna define what the next 7 years. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's just always makes me super nostalgic when I have new console to play around with. Oh, that's the weird Phantom Witch lady. I thought for a second her neck was like way further back, and I was like, what is with this weird Toad Witch that I don't recognize? Oh, that's the Man-Eater. I was really curious. I didn't remember its face being that humanoid, but I clearly wasn't paying that much attention. Either way, it's probably going to take a very, very long time before I get around to playing another Souls-like. Chances are next one's either going to be... Actually, no, we've got a couple of, like, top-down, like, isometric 2D ones that are coming out. One very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes. It is called... Actually, no, we've got two Souls-likes coming out, because we got Morbid the Seven Acolytes and Chronos Before the Ashes, which is a prequel to Remnant from the Ashes, I think. Or at least, it's kind of in the same universe. It's made by Gunfire Games. So, I guess I've got a lot more Souls-likes than I thought on the horizon, which is cool. I love the genre, and I want to see where people take it, because... While it isn't necessarily an entirely new genre, it is a very unique take on a genre. Or a very unique evolution. There's a lot of room for improvement and experimentation with this genre, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. I just hope most of them don't just go like, we're Dark Souls, but harder, because I've definitely played those, and those are just not fun. Oh, no, there's no way this is going in order of things that or the bosses that I beat. Is it? I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. It might be. Or it's just going in order of bosses left to right. I guess the real trick will be, is Allant at the end of this? Because that actually would have been a really cool nod to my progress through the game that... You know, had I been paying attention. No way, because the dupe witch showed up way later in the path, or way later in the credits. Oh, there's something in the background. I don't remember seeing that before. Have I not been paying attention, or heck if I know. And it's gone. Whatever that was, it was cool. I'm sure VodiVidya has a video on it. Who knows? Yeah, so it wasn't actually tracking my path through the game with the cool splash art of all of the bosses. Some part of me just truly wants them... Oh, man. I would absolutely buy, like, a $20 DLC, whatever, with the 6th region added. That would be really cool. I doubt it'll ever happen, but a man can dream. Either that or we get a Demon Souls 2. I would love to see them try and tackle it with the same kind of weird, harebrained ideas that they had. Because every subsequent From Software game has been much more focused. You know, the bosses were much more coherent. They felt like they fit in the same game. There were no dragon gods. Or... Oh gosh. Credits for these. Can I speed past some of this? I guess I can skip it. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. But there was no Storm King, there was no... Was it? Yeah, there was no Storm King, there was no Demon God, there was no big fat demon with the glowing bird up top. I still don't know how you're supposed to fight that guy. Like, people are gonna watch this playthrough and be like, he didn't... Actually, what bosses did I fight legitimately? I didn't really fight the spider that legitimately. I mostly just sat there, healed, and shot it a bunch. Huh. Oh no, it's just my TV having some issues with the frame rate. I thought it was lagging for a moment on the credits and I was going to be shocked. Let's see. So the spider, kind of not really. The second mining tunnel boss, I fought fairly legitimately. You know, rolling backwards and just shooting him a bunch, but still, fairly legitimately. I guess, honestly, the old monk I fought fairly legitimately. I didn't cheese him too hard. Maneater, we definitely cheesed. The Dupe Witch was fairly normal, though her boss fight was kind of goofy, so I'm not really sure how to judge that one. Tower Knight, no, I killed Tower Knight how you're supposed to kill Tower Knights. The Phalanx, I definitely killed goofy, though relatively legitimately. Gosh. Oh, I wonder how ridiculous fighting them the second time around with Firestorm would be. I gotta imagine it's insane. What other bosses did I fight properly versus improperly? I'm starting to forget them all, which is odd, because I just went through it all. Hey, Maiden Black Demon Soul. Just get back in. Hey, I turned your soul into a sword.
Of the lost withdrawn from its vessels. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessels. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
Ho, ho, ho. Scary Christmas.